Part of it was COVID, and part of it was Live Nation Ticketmaster taking over all the venues. Live Nation Ticketmaster is like taking away the listener's ability for discovery. The way we were doing it before, playing at C tier venues, then B tier venues, and eventually moving up to like your Baltimore soundstage and the big stuff like that. But you can't really do that anymore because unless you're like a Live Nation artist or you're on a label, those avenues are kind of closed.
Why are you listening when you know who I am?
And you've got fancy bloom from the light in the camera. That looks nice.
Yeah, like the sun's going down. Yay.
The golden hour.
Okay. Now it looks like everything's running on time. Like I don't seem as delayed. You don't seem as delayed. And everything should still be recording. Yeah. I got my notes here. Are you ready to start this?
Who's Fraba? Okay. Give it my best shot.
Now, obviously, for any musician seeking to earn a living from the skills they've developed, it's not always easy. When we were chatting at Brimminghorn, I really wanted to continue the discussion because you were talking about how you used to gig and you gigged enough to be able to put a down payment on a home. But a lot has changed since those years as you've been trying to get out and do more gigs. And did you say that was due to the pandemic or around that time that a lot
Yeah,
of
there was a bunch of things. Like part of it was COVID, and part of it was Live Nation Ticketmaster taking over all the venues. Which part of that I think people don't talk about enough is how Live Nation Ticketmaster is like taking away the listener's ability for discovery in the way that like the way we were doing it before, playing at C tier venues, then B tier venues, and eventually moving up to like your Baltimore soundstage and the big stuff like that. But you can't really do that anymore because unless you're like a Live Nation artist or you're on a label, those avenues are kind of closed. And especially now after COVID, before COVID, I could play venues like that and get paid. Like I would make 300, 350 a night, either doing Bastion's Wake stuff or doing like my solo acoustic stuff. And it was pretty good. And then after COVID, it was just, plus Ray died in 2020. He's fine now, obviously, but that set us back a good 6 months because he had to get a pacemaker and everything. So
Oh, wow.
there's a lot that happened all at once, I think.
Oh, yeah, in the American healthcare system, I'm sure they made it real easy.
Oh yeah, I pretty much had to threaten to burn down the hospital before they did anything.
Gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds intense.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. It was a nutty time.
And like I've seen more and more about Live Nation in particular, and like the venues are now like whether they're like owned by Live Nation or they have a deal with Live Nation, because they call this like a flywheel, where like basically if you're agreeing to work with Ticketmaster, and which that's Live Nation's the parent company, which I'm sure you knew that, but then like they can say you don't want to use Ticketmaster anymore. Well, then Live Nation might be like, oh, well, now you're not going to get our artists through. And you bring up a good point. The Wall Street Journal actually had like a nice piece on this a little bit ago where they talked about all the angles, especially for the venue owners and the artists, because the right now for artists, there's very outside of Live Nation, other promoters, they're becoming less and less, booking agencies less and less, and it's hard for them to be successful like a booking agency if they don't have a good relationship with Live Nation. And I think uh, that is like the most detrimental part of like the music industry now. Like it's like one there's one monopoly that's controlling so much, and then people are missing out on acts like you. I didn't even think of that in the whole, even just gigging, because you've lost the venues in the area.
Yeah, because like there was this shitty little hole in the wall venue I used to go to all the time where like I discovered bands like Whitechapel and We Came as Romans and Boys Like Girls, and they all came through there at some point. And it was one of those things where, yeah, it was a dingy little hole in the wall, but that promoter had connections with other promoters. And if he likes you when you came through there, he'd be like, hey, you want to have him come to your venue. So you're moving then from a 200-person venue to a 500-person venue, getting put on with other bands. And then hopefully that cycle continues and you move up and get put on other tours and get to book other shows with bigger venues. But it's just not that anymore. You can't even like reach out to a place and say, hey, local in the area doing pretty good, feel like I'd be good with like this lineup if you need a local opener. There's none of that anymore. Like you can't go to a show and find something anymore unless it's being presented to you a lot of times, which is pretty crazy to me.
Right. Well, especially because we're around the same age. Like when I was coming up, that's how you like found new bands. Like you weren't able to get on and stream things all the time,
Yeah.
well, LimeWire, I guess, and Napster. But you would you'd be at a local show, a band would be coming through, and you would know maybe a couple bands on it, and then the rest of them was new to you. And a lot of times for me, especially I think when you're younger, you're more receptive to new music too. And
Yeah.
and just like it's really changing the game in a devastating way, how things are being run now. So do you think like because you and Ray, your husband, are have started a cover band, do you think that that's going to be an easier way into some venues because there's music people already know, or
No, the two scenes are completely separated now. So like the covers like I've been to the soundstage back in the day where they had like cover band nights where you could go for like power metal cover band and stuff like that. And you don't really see stuff like that anymore. So now cover bands are playing like dive bars or like party bars, beach venues, stuff like that, which can be a little easier to book. And it's honestly, it pays a lot better than
there it
original music because I can go in there and be like, hey, my band is $1,200 for the night, and that's it, point blank.
yeah.
It's just you still got to prove you're good enough, and people are going to stick around and buy drinks and all that. But it's definitely a lot easier than the original scene for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Because there's like overlap here. A lot of, well, at least with our independent venues, you could see like when we can get them in, like up and coming bands, and you can see like local shows, but you can also tribute and cover bands do come
Oh,
through.
that's cool. There's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of that over on the East Coast right now, at least from what I've seen, anyway.
No, we only have a couple venues that do it, but I mean, that's only at least there's some better than none. So,
Yeah.
um, do you find like is gigging with a full band easier than trying to do like a solo gig of like cover songs?
It's easier in the way that I don't have to learn 90 songs on guitar.
Yes.
Because most of the time they're just like, here's lyrics in a microphone, go sing.
Yeah. Do you do you prefer that or do you like playing guitar on stage? Do you have a preference?
I like having the mix of it. I feel like I can sing better when I'm not playing guitar because I'm not like focusing on don't get yelled at Ray because there's an F chord right here that I always miss.
Fair, fair.
But it's you can kind of play more places. Like I like busking a lot when it's just like me and my acoustic guitar.
Hmm.
That's a lot of fun. And I get to do weird stuff. Like one lady gave me $50 to play Britney Spears once. So
Oh. What
I get
song
to
did you
like,
do?
get out of my comfort zone and play things that I definitely would not have elected to do.
What song did you do?
I think it was Baby One More Time.
Classic.
Yeah.
I teased my friend with the work bitch one. Like just you better work bitch.
Ray's opposite. He likes to play Madonna on guitar. So
I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's like TLC is kind of fun too. have done Scrubs, but it's been a while.
There's a lot of diminished chords in that. That's a lot of fun.
hmm Now, like how good I am at singing and playing it, it's like on that one, I kind of don't do it exactly like the song at parts, you know. I don't know. Do you do that too when you're doing your acoustic stuff, or you try to stay true to?
No, because a lot of the stuff that I get booked for anymore is my acoustic metal stuff, and I'm playing like Lamb of God and Borknagar and Amon Amarth and Ozzy, and so like I have to essentially distill everything down to the bass chords.
Okay, yeah, that would make you would have to, especially with some of like those more technical riffs.
Yeah, especially like there's a Dream Theater cover that I do, and there's a part that's in 13/8, and I play it in 4/4 just to like have a nice strumming pattern. But the vocal melody's in 4/4, so it works out fine, and people sing along and know what it is, so
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
And I'm not sure like the average person that isn't, I mean, how I'm a musician, I'm not great with understanding time signatures or any of that. I'm kind of like, here we are, I'll follow the drummer.
Yep.
I don't think that's it. Like, I don't think the average listener is fully aware of, oh my gosh, she's not playing that. And what was it, 13 eighths?
Yeah.
There
No.
might be some asshole out there,
Oh yeah.
but
There's always the one dentist out there who just bought his $15,000 PRS guitar and has got to tell you all about how you're rolling your cables wrong.
oh God. I actually had one of my girlfriends tell me like she plays in an all woman band, and someone actually got on stage and was like messing with the guitar player's settings on their amp. Hey, like
I would lose it.
the mendacity, right? Like,
Fantastic.
ugh, so good focus. um, since we kind of touched on your solo acts outside of gigs, you do have some like beautiful solo work. Um, and for people watching, my first time seeing it was because that was the first show I played at Birmingham with OC and the Jupiter. And Chris, the cellist, wasn't with us. We were playing with Vintegrave.
Yeah.
And like when you do you prefer playing, do you have a preference if you like going out there playing by yourself solo or like playing with Bastion's Wake? I think it fit for that show to have you solo and
Oh, definitely.
so beautiful.
Oh.
Love the Doctor Who. Yeah.
I like never play that anywhere. So that was nice to be able to get a chance to play that out. And I was, because as soon as I saw the billing, I was like, oh my gosh, I can play all this stuff I never get to play. Which I guess is good about playing my solo stuff is playing the things that I never get to play otherwise. But there's something my dudes in BW are like it's gonna be really corny, but they're like my family and there's this thing that happens when we're all together and playing the songs we wrote together. It just feels more fulfilling, I guess.
Yeah. 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 I think do you find like you get more stage fright, or do you not even have that anymore? To where like it's more nerve-wracking to get up there, just you and your guitar and your voice compared to being up there with a whole band.
It depends. If usually with Bastions, I'm pretty not nervous about playing a gig. I'm just so focused on having my gear set up and having everything ready to go. Really, the only time I really get nervous anymore is when I'm doing my solo cover sets and somebody whose song I'm covering is going to be in the audience and they tell me, and then I'm like sweating bullets.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot screw this up. I'm going to look so dumb.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I do. Or like if someone tells me they're going to be recording something, like, fuck, I like get in my head a little different. I like being surprised at the end, hey, we recorded your set. And it's like, fuck yeah. But I can imagine though, like being up there and playing all on your own, your voice, your where that might feel a little bit more intense. Like no one to blame any mistake on.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But like I think things are a little more hidden, when you're playing with a band versus just you. And that's my experience. Um, looking at my notes, sorry.
No, you're good.
um, and of course, your voice is beautiful. And you recently posted about you might start offering vocal lessons again. What goes into that? Is that something you have to do like in person? Do you work online with people too? Or
Yeah, in person, or I've done it over Zoom. They're not, what I do isn't like typical vocal lessons. Like, if you're looking to learn how to sing different chords and sight read and things of that nature, that's not the kind of thing that I'm doing. It's for me, the focus is more on teaching people to be ugly and to be weird, essentially. Like, stop thinking about your face being like that when you sing because you're going to look stupid. Like, just let it go and stop trying to be pure with everything all the time, because a lot of the stuff that I've learned to do with my voice, like the yodeling thing, is by making weird noises while I'm walking around the kitchen and then just doing it over and over again. Like, I just do something weird, figure out how to repeat it over and over again, and then work that into the musicality. And that's what I feel like helps people differentiate their voice from somebody else's and really find who they are as a vocalist, because it's easy to mimic. Like, I want to have Freddie Mercury's vibrato, so
yeah,
it's easy to try to mimic somebody, but it's not easy to mimic yourself and just let your voice be your voice. So
agreed. What could you give us an example of?
yeah, Ray was trying to sing ZZ Top in that style, and
Okay.
he finds that range of singing to be really comfortable for him, but he wasn't getting like the enunciation of the lyrics down really, really well to just have that like southern feel. So I was
Mhm.
like, dude, just pretend you're Owen Wilson going wow while you're singing. It's
Wow.
a good like 10-15 minutes to figure out, because I was trying to tell him like open up the back of your throat and like cup your tongue, and it just wasn't processing until I was like, oh, Owen Wilson, wow. And
Mhm.
having that motion is what finally broke him to do like that southern style of singing.
That's really cool. I've seen videos of this woman and she works with kids and I'll see her like drop their jaw and like even have them yell and use their whole body to get into it. And then when they start singing again fully, it's like night and day. Went from cracking their voice, trying to like really belt something out to actually belting it out without the crack. So
Yeah.
have you made the decision to start vocal coaching again? Are you still
I will privately for now,
okay?
just because there's so much going on with trying to push an album and all that. So that's been kind of crazy. But I'm hoping by the spring I'll be able to have clients more regularly.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you brought up the album because I saw you guys hit the Kickstarter goal, right?
Yes, in
Yeah,
10 days. I couldn't believe it. I
that's
cried.
amazing. And okay, like for people who don't know who you are, the background, Ray, he's fully capable of producing, mixing and mastering an album. And I did see like your comments on why you guys chose to not go that route. Why don't you talk about that? Like, like this, because self-production's one thing, but it is really something different when you bring someone else in to help with your art.
Yeah, like self-producing definitely saves in the cost once you have all of your gear and equipment and know how to use it. But what we did with this album was so much bigger. Like Freddie Mercury stacks of vocal harmonies and walls of guitars and synths and a live drum kit. And it was so much that Ray would essentially have to be there forever. And we didn't want to sit on the album for another year, to be honest. And we were going for a
Yeah.
specific sound. Like, we didn't want And we shopped around for a bunch of mix and mastering engineers, and it there was just something that we wanted from it. And so finally one day I was working on my acoustic set, and I was doing my Borknagar cover, and Ray was like, "Oh my god, that would be it. We should see like who mixed and mastered their last record." So Ray just Googled it and then saw that Oyston had a studio and was like, "Hey man, would you be interested in doing this?" And it was exactly our budget for it. So it's
Right.
kind of cool.
Very cool. That's magical that it worked out.
Yeah.
What was it like using Kickstarter? Like, how'd you like it? Was it,
It's stressful. If anybody is planning on doing a Kickstarter for their project, have a plan B and be prepared to be a professional beggar. Because
yeah,
Kickstarter is not like Indiegogo, it's all or nothing. So if you don't
yeah,
hit your goal, like that's it. It
you're
just
out the
you're
money.
out. Yeah.
And
So
everybody gets refunded after?
yep. Yeah,
Okay.
so Kickstarter doesn't take your money out until after the campaign closes, which is I think like August 10th for us or something. I think Indiegogo is the same way, but they're flexible. You can not hit your goal and still get your funding.
What made you guys reach that decision? Just not having the budget? Did it make you nervous to go out there and ask people?
Yeah, it was so we technically had most of the budget, but it would have set our band back probably 2 years. And we didn't want to, we thought it would be smart to pitch the album to our most hardcore fans first and recoup the recording costs. And then we could give back to them the vinyl records that they had been asking for quite a long time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so that's how a lot of that Kickstarter got funded was people that wanted the vinyl to come out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
vinyl, are you guys working with a label at all for the vinyl or self-producing or
No,
self?
self-producing. We found a place called Pirates Press, and they work with indie artists. Super, super cool. Shout out to Justin for being the homie.
Oh, that's awesome. Where are they located?
I think in North Carolina, they're stateside. The vinyl gets pressed in the Czech Republic,
Yeah,
but their operations are United States based.
very
And
cool.
I think they have their own label, but they don't work with labels, so they keep costs lower for independent artists.
Very cool. We need more of those out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a release date for the album?
Tentatively the end of October for the physicals, and then streaming will be like 2 weeks later. So,
Oh, very cool. To make sure everybody gets their physical
yep,
copies
yep,
first.
yep. And then we're doing anybody who backs the Kickstarter gets their MP3s first. So we'll probably send that out like 2, 3 weeks before the release.
Very cool.
Little extra exclusivity.
That's very exciting. How long have you guys been a band now?
Let's see. Ray and I's 10-year anniversary is in August, so probably 9.5 years now. With Rob and Ben, it's been about 4.5.
Wow.
Time flies.
Congratulations. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's impressive to make it that long with someone. You guys seem to have a very healthy and fun relationship. I mean, not that social media tells us that, but it just, anytime I see you guys together, you guys seem like,
It's actually kind of problematic sometimes because like one night we finished a rehearsal and we just got to shooting the shit and forgot that Rob's car was running in the driveway, and 4 hours later he was out of gas. We will literally just talk about anything and everything forever. Like it's I'm really spoiled with these guys because not only are they like super woman friendly, like they're literally like a family, and like Rob's wife loves running the merch booth and she's super super good at it, and I don't know. I'm just super fortunate. Not a lot of people get to have that and have people they can have creative conversations with at the same time.
yeah, it is really special. It is. I feel lucky for that same reason with a vowel. Everybody's like this. We had practice last night. We're all like sending Ozzy off, and uh, we yesterday the Ozzy Osbourne passed away, and everybody's all passionate about him too. So it was nice to kind of like reminisce and like spin records, listen to music, and have a beer or few in his honor.
Yeah. I feel like people write better music that way too when they're in a project with people that they really enjoy writing music with.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to keep you too long, but do you have any last words before we wrap it up? And
Geez, I didn't even put any thought into that.
you know, no worries.
But thank you for having me on. Like
Thank
this,
you for
this is
playing.
a really cool thing. I would not have the gumption to interview people and come up with really good questions like that. You're really good at this.
I wanted something a little different where it wasn't just like I feel like a lot of stuff is like what's your influences, talk about tour experiences. And I feel like the industry is really facing something much more sinister now. Like we can't all just be like, oh, all these positive things because I'm afraid that we won't have the scene. We won't have the like I'm worried for the generations behind us, especially that aren't going to have the ability to get to that next level because they weren't born in the right family or have the right connections because one person owns it all.
Yeah.
Or one entity, not I guess not one person, but yeah. So on that note, so optimistic. Well, I will talk to you soon and I look forward to seeing you. I'm sure we'll run into each other by next year.
Hopefully. The curse of band friends, we're all star-crossed loves.
Well, I'm not, well, I hope not. I don't think we have a tour next year for any of the Birmingham. I really wanted to go to the party like at 793. I saw you guys played. We got to play the one year, and that was just such a fun time. I'd like to be able to enjoy it for all the days, you know, or at least like Friday and Saturday. So
Yeah.
crash at my
It,
aunt's. Um,
it's a time.
it
It is a time.
is.
A good one.
Yes, mean. Let there be mean. All right. We have a good evening and we'll keep in touch.
Hell yeah. I'll talk to you later, man.
Bye.
Bye.